Hello student, all is well. This is Shahnaz Ansari, your social science teacher. Welcome you all in our social science class. Students, today we are going to learn a very important chapter of Indian history, that is the revolt of 1857. So in this chapter we will learn about the revolt of 1857, and the name of the chapter is When People Rebel. 1857 and after. So let's start this chapter with the topics which what are the important topics which we are going to learn are here. First we will discuss on introduction. After that we will discuss on the causes of the revolt. There were many causes. Some important causes are political causes, economic causes, social and religious causes, military causes, and immediate cause. And next we will discuss beginning of the revolt of 1857 and how revolt spread in other parts of the countries, and next reasons of the failure of the revolt, and last we will discuss on effect of the revolt. So students, in our previous chapter we have studied that the policies made by the Britishers were affecting the lives of the Indian people in many ways. These policies of East India Company had effect on different people such as kings, queens, sepoys and peasants. So they started resisting against the Britishers as these policies were against their rights and sentiment. By the 1857, almost the whole of India was under the control of British. Indians suffered under the colonial rules. All Indians like landlords, kings, tribals, traders, artisans, peasants and soldiers were adversely affected by the oppressive policies of East India Company, and a feeling of discontentment was building up. There was a massive increase in rural poverty. So their policies and ill treatment towards the Indian resulted in a number of uprising and rebellions between 1757 and 1856. So though the revolt started with the mutiny of the sepoys of the British Army. Revolt started with the mutiny of the sepoy of the British Army. It was taken by other section of the society as well. The revolt was culminations or various factors. There was no single cause that can be held responsible for it. There were violent responses from both the sides, and it ultimately resulted in ending the rule of the East India Company in India. Students, after 100 years of conquest and expansions, the British faced a major uprising in the form of the Revolt of 1857, which started in May and threatened the power of the company. It was unsuccessful but was a heroic effort to end the British rule in our country. There were many reasons that led to the outbreak of this revolt. Now, here are some causes of the revolt, and these are political causes, economic causes, social and religious causes, military causes, immediate cause. Now, one by one, we will get the information and we will discuss in the detail of these causes. First is political causes. Students, the British policies of annexation caused resentment among the Indian rulers. The subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of lapse were just means of annexing the territories of the Indian rulers. You have already learned about them in the previous chapter. The rulers and the Nawab lost their powers because of the British residence stations in their courts. This created a feeling of panic and insecurity among the rulers of the other states. The British did not recognize adopted sons and heirs, and the dispersed rulers were refused pension. Many rulers tried to negotiate with the British but in vain. Rani of Jhansi had adopted son, and wanted the British to accept him as the heir to the throne. The last Peshwa Bajirau's adopted son Nana Sahib was deprived of the pension of his father was receiving. The British abolished title in 1849. Governor General Dalhousie announced that Bahadur Shah Zafar's successor would not be allowed to stay in the Red Fort or use the title of the king. The company also stopped inscribing the Mughal king's name on the coins minted by it. The promises made with the prince were ignored by the British as the company became confident of its military and political power. Awadh had accepted the subsidiary alliance and there were British resistance to advise the Nawabs. Yet in 1856 the company annexed it on the pretext of misgovernance. There was a huge resentment because the Nawab of Awadh had been loyal to the British. The British were defeated in the First Afghan War. This shattered the myth about their superiority. Many zamindars and landlords who were deprived of their land and the patronage of the kings and Nawab resented the British rule. So these all were about the political causes for the revolt. Now next we will discuss the economic causes. Students, the most important cause of the discontentment against the British was the policy of economic exploitation. The peasants suffered due to high revenue demands made by the company under different revenue collection policies followed by it. Peasants were exploited by zamindar and very often they had to lose the ownership of land due to non-payment of taxes. Peasants were forced to grow indigo, which also created resentment among them. The artisans had also lost their means of livelihood. Artisans and craftsmen were ruined by the large-scale influx of cheap British manufactured goods into India, which in turn made their handmade goods very expensive. To safeguard their own industry, heavy duties were imposed on the Indian goods in England. People who were working as administrative staff and workers for their kings and nobles lost their livelihood due to the displacement of the ruling class. Company officials started training away India's wealth to England. So this was all about the economic causes of the revolt. Now we will discuss the social and religious causes. Many Christian missionaries worked hand in glove with the British government. Their aim was convert people to Christianity. The religious sentiments of the people were further hurt when a tax was imposed on the property held by temples and mosques. Some of the social reforms introduced to put an end evil customs like sati female, infanticide, etc. were looked upon as a direct attack on the Indian culture and led to discontentment among the people. The introduction of railways was resented on the ground that people of all castes would have to travel in the same compartments. People felt that the British were trying to break down the social order. Indians were denied high post because they were considered inferior. The racial discrimination angered the Indians. So these all were about the social and religious causes of the revolt. Students, Indian Sepoys constituted a major bulk of the East India Company army. They were unhappy with their pay, allowances and the condition of the service. They were paid less than their British counterparts and their chances of promotion were very limited. They could not rise to high post. They were often treated in a humiliating manner by the British soldiers. Initially, the company had adapted its military practice in accordance with the religious ideas and beliefs of the Indian people. As a result, soldiers denied in separate quarters, overseas service was not required for them, etc. However, all this began to change with time. A law was passed requiring the sepoy to travel abroad if needed. Many people at that time believed that crossing the sea led to a loss of their religion and state. In 1824, when sepoys were told to travel to Burma by sea to fight for the company, they refused to do so. They, however, agreed to travel by the land route. They were severely punished for refusing to follow the orders. In 1856, the company passed a new law. The General Service Enlistment Act was stated that all new recruits in the company's army had to agree to serve overseas in case it was required. The soldiers were given foreign service allowances or bhatta previously when they were sent to fight outside the country, which was discontinued. The British forbade the Indian sepoys from wearing religious and caste marks such as putting a tika or tilak on the forehead, wearing a turban. This spread a feeling of discontentment. The sepoys were also deeply grieved by the sufferings of the peasantry, as most of them belonged to peasant families. The new land revenue system introduced after the annexation and decline condition of the peasantry also worried the sepoys. About 14,000 petitions were sent by the sepoys about the hardship relating to the revenue system. So all these were about the military causes. Students now understand what was the immediate cause. In 1856, the Enfield rifle was introduced in the army. To load the rifle, the sepoy had to bite the cartridges open. It was rumored that the cartridge was coated with cow and pig fat. While the Hindus considered the cow sacred and revered it, the pig was considered dirty by Muslims who did not eat pork. This news greatly alarmed and angered the Hindus and Muslims. They believed that British were deliberately trying to destroy their religion and caste and wanted them to convert to Christianity. The sepoy began to refuse to use these cartridges. So it was the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. Students, do you know the first protest against using the grease cartridges was raised by a soldier by the name Mangal Pandey. He refused to use the cartridges and was subsequently hanged. So students, this all were about the causes of the revolt of 1857. Now we will understand the beginning of the revolt, how it was started. On 29th March 1857 at Barakpur, Mangal Pandey, a soldier of 34th Bengal Native Infantry Regiment, opened fire on his British superior and asked the other sepoys to join him to end the rule of the company. He was arrested and hanged to death. Some sepoys of the Meerut regiment refused to use the new cartridges. 85 sepoys were dismissed from service and sentenced to 10 years in jail for disobeying orders. The next day, soldiers marched to the prisons and released their colleagues. They captured guns and ammunition and killed a number of European officers and set British property on fire. The soldiers were determined to end the rule of the British in their country. They marched off to Delhi and reached there in the early hours of the next morning. The sepoys at Delhi also rose up in rebellion and joined them. They killed officers, captured the arms and ammunition, and set the buildings on fire. So this was the official beginning of the Great Indian Revolt of 1857. Students, now we will understand how revolt spread to other parts of the country. On 11th May 1857, soldiers reached the Red Fort where they proclaimed Bahadur Shah Zafar, the Mughal emperor, as the emperor of the India. The Mughal king then wrote letters to all the rulers and chiefs of the country. He wanted them to come forward and form a confederacy of Indian state. They would then fight against the British together. The British has expected that the uprising would die down gradually. However, what occurred was quite the opposite. The revolt spread from Meerut and Delhi to other centers such as Kanpur, Awadh, Jhansi, Bareilly. Soon civilian population began joining the rebels. The people of towns and villages rose up in the revolt under the leadership of local leaders, zamindar and chiefs, who were also ready to fight against the British. So the news spread quickly, spread to the other areas, and people stood up in rebellions against the British. Now we will see what were the other centers of the revolt. First, Jhansi. Rani Lakshmibai is considered as the greatest leader of the revolt. After the death of her husband, she became the regent of her 5 years old adopted son. However, the British refused to recognize the right of her adopted son to the throne. She was helped by Tatia Tope. She fought very bravely, but she was captured by British and she died while fighting on the battlefield. Kanpur, it was also other center of the revolt of 1857. Here the revolt led by Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the Bajirao II. He was successful in expelling the British. He carried on the fight with British and was assisted by his trusted general Tatia Tope and other officer Azimullah Khan. Though they fought bravely, Kanpur was captured by the British and Nana Sahib refused to surrender and escaped successfully to Nepal. Ara in Bihar. The revolt was led by a Rajput Zamindar Kuwar Singh in Ara. Where it is Ara in Bihar. He led the movement in Awadh as well as central India. He was successful at many places in Bihar but died fighting a furious battle against British in April 1858. Bareilly. In Bareilly, Bakht Khan led the revolt at Bareilly. He continued fighting till he died. Next is Awadh. Begum Hazrat Mahal was leading spirit behind the uprising in this Awadh. She was helped by Ahmadullah Shah, a Maulvi from Faizabad. The Awadh forces besieged the residency at Lucknow, but after a severe battle, Lucknow was recaptured by British in March 1858 and the Begum escaped to Nepal. So students, these all were the important centers of the revolt of the 1857, Jhansi, Kanpur, Ara, Bareilly and Awadh. Now it's time to recall the topics which we have learned in this part. We have learned the causes of revolt. We have discussed the political causes, economic causes, social and religious causes, military causes and immediate cause. We have also discussed how the revolt was started and how it was spread in the other parts of country, in the other parts of India. Now in the next part we will understand or we will discuss how the company fights back or how the company suppress the revolt or the causes of the failure of the revolt. So till then, take care. Thank you for watching my video.